Good morning and welcome to Tea Time with Tanya. I'm Tanya. How you doing today? Today is Monday, the 24th of November 2022. It is my youngest son, my Matthew's 32nd birthday. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Happy birthday. Let's start this off with a blessing. Dear universe, dear creator, dear spirit guides, please give us, the collective, a blessing for this Monday, the 24th of October. We get infinite blessing. Blessings flow to and from you endlessly, expanding in all directions, filling you with the healing light that guides you upon your blessed path. Rainbow light flows from your heart, creating infinite peace. Namaste. Let me read this one more time. The infinite blessing. Blessings flow to and from you endlessly, expanding in all directions, filling you with the healing light that guides you upon your blessed path. Rainbow light flows from your heart, creating infinite peace. Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, I have got some excellent questions this morning. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, today is the 24th. Tomorrow is the partial eclipse, the partial solar eclipse. On the 8th is a total lunar eclipse. The energies that we are in right now are intense. So before I get started, I just want to touch on this for a second because I have fallen victim of this myself. Guys, with all the energies, with all the planets that are lining up for these eclipses, there is palpable pressure being placed upon us. Oh my goodness, people might be quick to want to fight or run or leave. These emotions are intense. So if you find yourself becoming riled up, getting very, very, very angry, please segregate yourself until you can calm down. This is an easy time for people to lose control of their faculties, okay? With that being said, just everyone be warned for the next month. People's emotions can go from 0 to 100 in any direction. That includes road rage. That includes arguments, fighting. Guys, be aware that the way that the energies are, it is primed for bad behavior. Okay, so with that in mind, just everybody be mindful of your own self. Make sure that you maintain control of your faculties. All right, I'll leave that there. All right, my first question is from Denny, and this one's going to be a mixed bag today too. Denny would like to know, how will global warming affect the fish? Well, global warming is already affecting all marine life. Those fish and creatures that cannot survive the warmth will perish. Those who can go into deeper, colder waters will. What we have to understand, guys, is that global warming, this is not something that there is an on or off switch for. We are in this. And I don't mean to scare anybody, but we're past that point. We are in global warming. We can't be afraid of something that we are living in. We have to prepare ourselves for what comes next. We have allowed our planet to become too warm. We have allowed our waters to become too warm. Our polar ice caps have melted. The oceans are rising. This is facts. This is not fear. This is facts. With the warmer water comes problems. Guys, we are on the precipice. The ultra rich are about to drop the hammer on us. The gas companies are raising gas prices. This is worldwide, not just in America. Gas companies are raising prices. The countries that are at war are not producing. Vlad is about to cut off England of their gas supply that comes from Russia. This is going to cause prices everywhere to skyrocket. The Mississippi River is dry. Barges cannot go down the river to deliver goods. Lakes and rivers all over the United States are drying up. All over Europe are drying up. This is real. I keep asking everyone to prepare. Prepare now. You don't have time to pussyfoot around. If you know how to can. If you know how to grow. It will be imperative. The prices will continue to go up. The ultra wealthy control the markets. As fuel prices go up, food prices go up. The cost of living goes up. And what has happened, guys? When Congress passed the $15 an hour law to make minimum wage $15 an hour, this is what the ultra wealthy did. We are in this recession because of Donnie. Donnie gave $1 trillion, tax-free, don't have to be paid back by the ones that got it. $1 trillion of free money. And they took that money and put it into their own companies, bought back their own stock. So they own controlling interest in their own companies. This was the plan. Now, the gas and oil companies who are on the side of Vlad because they want war. Understand, the military industrialized complex wants war, needs for there to be discourse so that the ultra rich can continue to make unprecedented record profits while they're destroying the world. We must be prepared for what is coming next. The water is not going to miraculously reappear in the dried up rivers. And this is worldwide, guys. Everywhere is facing tremendous drought. And this is the thing with global warming. People say, well, but it's been flooding all summer. Yes, it flooded. That water washed across the earth. It did not stay. It did not fill reservoirs. It washed away crops. It damaged crops. If you know how to do something to keep yourself comfortable, you need to do it. Okay? We can't pretend any longer that there's an off switch that we can just say, okay, global warming is over. We're still in a pandemic, even though people are pretending like we are not. We are. Okay? So let's just to be real. Didn't mean to start this off on a whoo, but we got to live in the real world, and we have to prepare for real world issues that are coming towards us. And we need to be knowledgeable of why the world is the way that it is and put the blame squarely where it belongs. Not on the people who have nothing to do with it, but on gas and oil and big business and the ultra 0.51% who run everything, who own the corporations. This recession rests squarely on their shoulders. And they started all of this in 2020 during the pandemic when the whole world was sick. That's when they decided that they were going to destroy the economy of the world. This is greed. This is greed. All right, next question is from Cruzin PC. Will America get oil from Venezuela to offset OPEC? At this time, Cruzin PC, no. No. Joe, I think, is already he's once bitten, twice shy. Once the MBS screwed him on a handshake and then turned around and completely screwed him. Biden is not interested in working with despots. Not at this time, at least. And Venezuela is in too much trouble for us to be opening our arms to do business with, even if we do need fuel. We have reserves. The one thing that Donnie did do, guys, remember, our oil reserves are plumb full. This is the one thing Donnie did when he was president. This is the good thing that Donnie did for America when he was president. In 2020, when the whole world had come to a screeching halt, hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil that had already been produced were not being used. Old Donnie bought all of that oil. Our oil reserves are full. Don't let anybody tell you that they aren't. During the 2020 pandemic, Donnie bought enough oil to get us through this. Okay, so don't panic. Grandpa Joe is going to open the reserves. He will keep them open through the election and possibly further after that. But guys, this is where it gets interesting, because after the election, once the Democrats win and take the House and the Senate with a veto-proof majority, this country is going to get to work. Okay? We're going to be able to pass laws. We're going to be able to undo some of the things that have been done. This is why it is imperative that everyone that is 18 years old, that is able legally to vote, gets out there and votes so that we can do what we can to make America a little bit better for these hard times that are rushing towards us like a speeding train. Okay, so no Cruzin PC, not just yet. Joe's going to open our reserves. We have lots of reserves, and we have Donnie to thank for that. Donnie bought all kinds of oil, so we have oil reserves. We are not in trouble there. So, and Joe knows this, but everybody else needs to. And this is where people need to talk to each other. Everybody, use the information that you have to dispel lies and myths and rumors that others are spreading to try to keep people in fear. Okay? Denny's next question. He says, is there a molecule that will, or there's some type of a molecule that will combat Alzheimer's disease? So I will ask this question. I read something, but I can't remember what I read. And let's just ask it this way. Tarot, is there a molecule in the human body? And Tarot, and my spirit guides are already saying yes, that the human body is capable of repairing itself, that we do have a gene that turns on and off, that when it is corrupted, that when genes get harmed by outside influences, this could be disease, illnesses, that unchecked, this is people's unhealthy lifestyle, pollution that alters the molecules in our body and forces them to not work correctly. But my spirit guides are telling me, yes, there is in our body, there is a molecule that it will combat Alzheimer's disease. Let's ask Tarot. Tarot, is there a molecule? Is there a found molecule that will combat Alzheimer's disease. Got a flipper. Guess we'll come back to it. There it is. Is there a molecule, a known molecule that will combat Alzheimer's disease? Is there a known molecule? Here we go. Okay, so scientists have been searching for cures for diseases, and yes, they have discovered cures, and not just for Alzheimer's, guys. They have discovered cures for a lot of diseases, and governments will not allow certain treatments to be used by everyone. Mental illness is one of them, is a huge one, where the use of certain mushrooms can literally combat mental illness. But because of Richard Nixon and his war on drugs, the mentally ill are forced to suffer forever because Nixon, wanting to punish his enemies and black people, made scheduled drugs illegal for consumption. Therefore, cures, already found cures, are sitting on shelves, worthless, because our government wants to punish people more than they want to help people. Facts. All right. Yeah, Denny, there's a molecule to combat Alzheimer's. Yes, there is. But there's no telling how long it'll be before we can get to it. My next question is from Ann H. How much attention should we pay to the polls? Are they used to manipulate voters? Yes. The polls are the mainstream media's strong arm. It is literally their gun that they can point in people's face to scare them. And this is how people are being manipulated. I really dislike election season for political ads, even on YouTube. And it seems like the only ads that I see as a democratic liberal person, YouTube thinks it's funny to target me with nothing but right-wing ads. Nothing but hate and fear ads. Mainstream media, propaganda is big business. Propaganda is money. That's why all these politicians resort to smear campaigns, throwing rocks at each other. Nobody's standing on issues. Everybody's just standing pointing fingers at who's worse than who. And this is what we're dealing with. So, Anne, yes. How much attention? I would not. If you can, turn your television off. Do you understand that by not participating, you already know who you're going to vote for? You've already watched all of the January 6th committee meetings. We have lived through 2020, 2021, and now we're at the end of 2022. If you don't understand who did what to whom and who you should vote for, then there's nothing I can say that will help. But for those who are awakened, for those who are aware of what is going on, I'm speaking to you. Please disassociate yourself from mainstream media. Take a break. Turn the television off. Stop watching the news all day long. If your television is on MSNBC or CNN from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed, you are being programmed. You are being manipulated. Turn it off. The only way to get away from that is to turn it off, to silence it. Mainstream media is propaganda. Everything that is going on right now is propaganda, whether it be right wing, whether it be left wing. Everyone is trying to manipulate you, to push you to vote a certain way. Please, everyone, understand your voice, your vote, this solemn thing that is ours. When we exercise it en masse, we create change. When we do what everybody else is doing just because everybody else is doing it, we create chaos. The right wing has jumped on the bandwagon to destroy democracy in America. We, as liberals, as independents, as Democrats, as people who wish to be awake, who want to change the things that we can, have got to rise up and speak the truth as loudly as the Republicans are spreading lies. We have to speak truth as louder than they are lying. The truth is the only thing that is going to set us free. And as long as we keep playing the game, as long as we keep giving some people rights and taking rights from others, we will remain in this mess. We as a collective must stand up and stand together to fight against this. Guys, it's coming. It's coming. This energy that we are in right now is chaotic energy. The right wings want a civil war. They are calling for it at every turn. Why? Because they are getting closer and closer to justice being brought to them. And the closer we get to bringing them to justice, the more they are going to act out. And we cannot be afraid of them acting out. We have got to be prepared for it. But we cannot use kid gloves on them to pretend like they're not going to do what they're going to do. If we put kid gloves on and start pretending that these criminals are not exactly what they are. These are dangerous people. And we have to see them for exactly what they are and what they are capable of doing. Guys, they are calling for this. They are itching for it. Oh, Marjorie, old Donnie boy, every opportunity they get, they are calling for civil war. They are calling for their base to rise up against America. We have got to shout them down. We have got to stand up and show them that, number one, we're not afraid of your words, because that's what they want. And we have got to start putting these people in jail. Period. All of them. None of them are above the law. Okay. So Ann H., don't pay attention to the polls. They are there to manipulate you. They are there to keep you afraid that who you want to win is losing, or who you don't want to win is winning. It is a game to keep people low vibration in fear. That is what it is all about. The right wing only deals in fear. And that is how they maintain control of their base. Their base doesn't respect, they fear. Everything that they do, they act out of fear. Understand. And we have to call them out on it. We have to shout them down louder than the lies that they are shouting that have so many low vibration, undereducated people flocking to the right wing, okay? And they want us to believe that they are such a big group. They are not. They are not. They are loud, and they are loud, okay? And that's it. They're loud and they're violent. And that's what makes them look bigger than they are. If we could learn to use our voices like they have learned to use theirs, we could turn this. But Democrats, for some reason, are too afraid to use our voices, to use our strength, and we keep bowing down. You know, yeah, it's fine to take the high road, but we can sing while we're taking that high road. We can shout while we're taking that high road. We can tell everybody exactly what's going on while we're taking that high road. We don't have to pick up a gun and shoot somebody. But doggone it, we can use our voices. We can sing, we can shout, we can scream. But we need to get our voices heard, and we need to shout down those who who are trying to kill us, who are trying to keep us in low vibration, who are trying to bring about Armageddon, because this is what it is. The right is doing everything in their power to destroy this planet. You want to know who the Antichrist is? It's them. It's everybody who is against good. The Antichrist is not one person. It never has been. That is the trick. Okay? That's the trick that they want you to believe, that it's one person. No. It is an ideology. It's a consciousness that is anti-Christ. Okay? It is people who come together as a congregation to do bad, to do evil. Those are the antichrists. Okay? Don't get hung up on words. Understand what the word means and then apply the word to those who it fits. But don't get tripped up by words. That is what's wrong with the majority of us, is because we hear words that the meanings have been changed. And we believe we understand things that we don't. Okay? Anti-Christ is against Christ. Period. It's not a person. There is not a person who is walking around that is going to materialize with 666 on him. 666 is the number of man. That is the number of man. Chromosomes, cells. 666 is man. Okay? We have to stop getting hung up on the vernacular and try to understand the meaning of words. Okay. My next question. Capricorn Queen 7425 would like to know, will the UK rejoin the EU? The EU has reached out to Great Britain. The UK has reached out and said, hey, y'all get your stuff together. We'll let you back in. And the Tory party or the Conservative party is just having a time just trying to find a suitable leader. And guys, this is all the stuff that we really, really, really need to be paying attention to. These are the things that we have to understand what is going on. Okay, but let's ask this question first. Will the UK rejoin the European Union? Will the UK give up Brexit and rejoin the EU? It's going to be imperative. Yes, they will. But guys, it's going to take all the people of England to come together and say they want it. But yes, the majority of people want it because Brexit is hurting the UK as it is. But there will be a partnership formed. Okay? There will be movement in the right direction. But it won't be until after they get their stuff together. England is going to suffer more losses, unfortunately, before they rejoin the EU, and that's what's going to force them to rejoin the EU. Is a series of unfortunate events is going to befall the UK, and it's going to force them. If they don't accept now and change willingly, when they do go back begging to be accepted back into the European Union, England will be devastated because it will have been destroyed by the Conservative Party. They're taking away your health care. They're going to make you pay for everything. They're taking away your affordable housing. I'm talking to you, everybody in England. They are coming after everything. They want the ultra rich to have the last word and have all the money. And they want everybody else to be quiet, sit back and just take it. All of us have got to rise up against these conservatives. This conservative class. This is the class that is coming to destroy the world. And they are. This is the right wing everywhere in the world. Everywhere in the industrialized world, the conservatives, all of whom are working with Russia. Let's not get it twisted. The old lady that just quit in England, Miss Truss, Liz Truss. Yeah, a Putin pick. Italy, everywhere is slipping into fascism. These are the ones who want to take over the world, and this is what they want. The same way that the Middle Eastern women are required to wear the hijabs to cover their heads and faces. Guys, the laws that these people are trying to enact are laws that will take every woman and put her in a burqa or a hijab, to take the rights away from every woman. Okay? All over the world. This is what they are trying to do. This is their ideology. To separate, to divide, to control, to destroy. You control the narrative, you control the words, you control the dress, you control the speech, you control the money, you can control the world. And this is what they are doing. They are using this playbook to destroy the world so that they can possess it. Okay, my next question is from Beautiful Girl. Beautiful Girl would like to know who leaked the tape of Nuri Martinez and the council members. Who leaked the tape? And I have to say this for entertainment purposes only, because I don't want to get sued by nobody. Okay, the first name that came to me was Ron Herrera. He's also a council member, but I do believe it was him or somebody out of his office that leaked that tape to the news so that everybody could see who these people actually are. Yes, and Nuri Martinez, I'm going to talk about her, because her whole beef about this little black child on the float was that he was acting like a white child. This little black child who's being raised by two gay white dads, was behaving like a white child on this float. And Nuri Martinez said, "Give him to me for a few minutes. I'll take him around the corner, and he'll be better when I bring him back." Her whole thing. Had he been a white kid, she wouldn't have had one word to say about his behavior. No, but she called him El Chigon. She called him a monkey. She called him a monkey in Spanish. And said that if it was her, she would take him around and she would take him and beat him. And then bring him back a better person because he's black, and how dare he behave like he's a child. Yeah, these are the people, and she's a Democrat. These are the people who we elected. These are Democrats, so there's bigots everywhere. There's racists everywhere. Don't give them a pass, whether they have a D or an R. A creep is a creep, a cretin is a cretin. And just because she's a Democrat, she should not hold that seat. And that's the one thing that we have to do. There are more Democrats that are better qualified who can do the job without picking on children. Picking on black children, saying that, oh, he just needs to be beaten. He can't be out there acting like a white child. Oh no, take that little dark child and go beat him until he acts, till he knows his place. That's what she said. That's what she meant. And I'm sick of it. I ain't giving none of them no cover. Vote her butt out. She needs to be gone. All of them who think that way and speak that way need to be gone. Because when they whisper it like that, you know what they say at home. If they ain't scared to say it like that, you know what they say at home. They out there calling us the N-word left and right. When they show you who they are, believe them. Believe them the first time. And that goes for all of them. All of them. It doesn't matter. If they are a bigot racist, they are a bigot racist. That's why we're stuck with freaking Joe Manchin now. A bigot racist who has a D behind his name, but he doesn't do anything for the Democratic Party except for take a seat from somebody who could actually help us. Okay? All right, I'm going to stop preaching on that one. Okay. Next question is from Danielle. Why is mainstream media portraying the GOP as winning or close when we know otherwise? To keep us in fear. Just exactly what I said earlier. The mainstream media's number one job is to sway us, to take that, to put a ring in our nose and lead us right or left, whichever way they can draw us. That is what they are. Mainstream media is about making money. Period. And the way that they make money is by keeping everybody scared. Because if you're scared, you're going to watch what they got to say. If you're in fear, your television is never going to get turned off because you're going to need to know what's coming next, what's coming next. That's what the mainstream media does. Again, disassociate yourselves. We all have to. Limit the time that you are absorbing this. You are being programmed. They are keeping your energy and vibration low so that you can be manipulated, so that you can be made to live in fear. Okay, guys? My next question is from Jasmine. I guess over the weekend, there was another drag queen story time somewhere. And the Proud Boys vowed to blow up the library, to disrupt it, to do everything that they could. Literally targeting 11-year-old drag queen little boy. So these Proud Boys, these grown men, who are so triggered by somebody having the courage to be who they feel they are. And understand, this is what their whole beef is. Their whole beef is because these people have the audacity to live their best lives. and that they are being accepted into society. This is what the Proud Boys are. This is a hate group. They're not protecting anybody. They are putting children in danger because they're going to public libraries to where children are being read stories. Grown men are barging into libraries, harassing children, and they call themselves Proud Boys. Yeah, they're little boys. They're little boys, but they're not proud. They should be very, very ashamed of themselves. Okay? There's nothing to be proud of. But they're targeting 11-year-old boys who are proud of who they are. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace what they're doing, and it's a disgrace that the police have not busted their heads and aren't standing there to meet them. It's a disgrace, but it goes to show exactly how many people in our law enforcement walk around with that same twisted, nasty hatefulness that they can't see. They just cannot fathom anybody just being happy, being who they are. No, they would rather you be miserable and force you to live like they do in misery. All these people are showing exactly how dissatisfied they are with their own lives. They are so dissatisfied with themselves that they make it a point to have to go and make other people miserable. That's what the Proud Boys are. They're a bunch of sad, sorry losers. Every one of them. Every one of them. The Proud Boys, every one of those hate groups. They are a bunch of people who are sad, sorry losers. I don't care what name they put under. Every one of them under the neo-Nazi trope. Sad, sorry losers. Every one of them. Who are so sad that you can live your best life and be happy that they have to make it a point to try to ruin your day because they're miserable. Understand what they are. But they're trying to push legislation, the Don't Say Gay legislation. Jasmine wants to know, will this prevail? No, Jasmine. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more sane Americans in this country than there are bigots. The only problem is that all the sane Americans are sitting at home with their mouths shut. And that's why we don't know they exist. Speak up. Shout them down. If you know that there's going to be a gay reading at your public library, show up as protection for those people. So that when the Proud Boys show up, they can't just walk in the building and disrupt it. Get up. Get involved. Instead of sitting in front of the television wondering why, what we gonna do, who's gonna come save us, get up. We got to save ourselves. We got to take this country back. Get up, whether you got a walker or a wheelchair, one leg or two. Get up. Get out there. Protest. Make your voice be heard. Be out there on the polls. If you're brave and you're not as scared of these people, volunteer to be a poll worker. Volunteer to be security around there so that when these Proud Boys show up, that they have somebody to meet, that we protect our own. We got to stand up for ourselves. We cannot keep hiding in the corner waiting for somebody to come save us. When are we going to save ourselves? Because the aliens have not lit. That's not what they're there for. They're to make sure that we don't destroy the whole rest of the solar system. We have to save ourselves. We have to fix the damage that we have caused to this planet. We cannot expect the extraterrestrials. We wrecked it, and to just come down and say, okay, we'll fix it for you again. That's not how it works. At some point, we have to take responsibility. We have to stand up. We have to shout down. We have to stand together. Red and yellow, black and white. We have all got to stand together. because that's what it's going to take. We have to take this country back, not wait for somebody to come and do it for us. The GOP wants a war to distract from their epic failures, to distract from the fact that they have no policies. They are not running on anything except for Trump won. The big lie. The only lie they tell. They're not talking about fixing infrastructure. No, they're only talking about what they're going to take away. They want to go after Social Security. They've always wanted to go after Social Security. Why? Because they've used it as their own personal slush fund for the last 50 years. And they don't want to have to pay that money back that they've stolen. And they don't want to have to pay all the senior citizens who are about to go into retirement. Basically, everybody who's in their 50s right now, this is who they're targeting. All of us who have paid our entire life into Social Security. The GOP wants to make sure that we never see a penny of our own money returned to us. We pay into this for ourselves. It is a savings account for us. The GOP has bastardized it. They have robbed it. They have changed the rules so that they can siphon off of it. They have tried to make it insolvent by stealing money from it. Those are crimes. Those are crimes. The GOP does not want to help Americans eat, live, go to school. They are taking everything. But they want to tell you what you can do with your body, who you can love. Watch them. Watch what they are doing. Understand. The GOP is the party of loss, of taking, of liars, of bad actors, of selfishness. They don't believe in science. They don't believe that your child can excel if you teach music at the school. Okay, guys? They want a war to distract from their failures. They want a war to force everybody else into servitude. They want everybody to remain asleep. That's why they're so against. They're anti-woke. Understand, words are important. We wake up. We see. We are aware. We understand what's going on around us. When we are asleep, we are unaware of what is going on around us. We are unable to defend ourselves. We are unable to see bad things coming. That's why the GOP wants you to stay asleep. They don't want you to wake up and understand what they are doing. They don't want you to be conscious. They want you to be unconscious. Words matter. Next question is from Danielle. Will Israel ever be charged with war crimes against the Palestinians? They are throwing Palestinians out of their houses, forcing the Palestinians to live in caves. The Israelites, the ones who we pay billions of dollars a day to. Another sham. And these aren't even, I ain't gonna say it, but they ain't the real Israelites. They just stole the name. They stole the name and stole the fame. Another whole group of antichrists. Okay? A whole group of them. Because they ain't doing nothing that's Christ-like. They are harming people. Women, children. They are killing people. They are blowing up. They have been bombing the Gaza Strip and putting people further and further and further into poverty. In the name of the Lord. Y'all better get right with whatever it is you believe in, and understand what it is y'all believe in. Understand. Don't just say, oh, well, this is the Bible. This is this and this is that. You know right from wrong. You know good from evil. If the people that you associate with and you go to synagogue or church with are devils, and you sit there and commune with them daily, religiously, what does that make you? We were given a mind to understand. And mankind, through religion, told you, oh no, don't pay attention to that. No, don't use your brain. Just do what I tell you to do. You were given a brain. The Creator gave you everything you need to understand. Trickery comes from mankind, not from the universe. Universe doesn't have to trick you. Man has to trick you. Man lies to you. Man wants you to do things that are against nature. Don't be a sheep. Don't believe something just because somebody wrote it down. Don't believe something just because somebody repeats it. Use everything that the universe gave you to figure things out for yourself. If it doesn't feel right to you, don't do it. If it doesn't smell right to you, don't eat it. Okay? Be choosy about what you let enter your body. And again, that includes listening to me. Use everything that the universe has given you to discern fact from fiction. All right? All right. But will Israel ever be charged with war crimes against the Palestinians? No, they won't, because they write their own rules. The rest of the world has let them do this forever, just like the rest of the world has let Vlad go in there and invade the Ukraine, while everybody sits with their thumbs up their butts. Oh yeah, okay, we done sent them some money. We done sent them some tanks. We've sent them a couple of planes. But we have not helped. Everyday Americans, everyday Frenchmen, everyday Europeans have gone to the Ukraine and enlisted to fight, to give up their lives to fight in a war that isn't even on their own territory. But the countries that have all this might have sat back and let Vlad decimate an entire country and has not fired one bullet that could have stopped him. This war could have been stopped instantly if the rest of the world would have said, no, Vlad, you're not going to do this. We're not going to let you. But they didn't. Again, look at what they do. Bump what they say. Look at what they do. Danielle has a question. Will children stolen from the Ukraine, taken to Russia and adopted out, be returned? Some. The children who know who they are, who know, may be returned. The young ones? No. No, there's no record. They didn't make a record of who they stole these children from. No. The children who know who they are, who can articulate who they are and where they're from, stand a chance of being returned. Younger children, no. Children under 5, no. No. No, those children will be lost. They'll be found through DNA later. Two people have died in New York City because of monkeypox. Will monkeypox become an endemic? No. Two people dying because of monkeypox, which has been out for almost 6 months now. If monkeypox was going to become a endemic or a pandemic, it would have already been. Monkeypox is nothing but smallpox. We already have a vaccine for smallpox. So people who are succumbing to monkeypox, more likely than not, were not vaccinated for their routine childhood immunizations. Okay? Monkeypox is a known germ. It's a known virus. It's not a new virus. We already have vaccines for it. It will not be, it's not going to get out of control. And it's not going to become endemic, No. If people would just get vaccinated, it would go away again. It would disappear just like polio. But as long as we have ignorant people who believe that science is bump, then ancient diseases will continue to resurface as long as people are are disregarding common sense. All right? I got a shadow on this and it's bugging me. I'm sorry. Trying to get my lighting right. All right. My next question is from Mama Tino. And she wants to know about Meghan Markle and Meghan Markle's mom and family life. So I'm just going to do a full throw on Meghan Markle just to tell us how she is personally. We can do past, present, and future on Meghan Markle just so we can get an idea of her. And I'm going to throw in her influence from her mother. Universe, Tarot, Spirit Guides, please give us a full overview of Meghan Markle's life to this point and her future and her home life and her mother. Okay. Meghan, as she is today, she is at her crossroads. And I feel this is sad for her because she is making some decisions. And guys, unfortunately, this is about her marriage. Her and Harry are having difficulties right now. Unfortunately, there's fighting. But all of this is about what's going on in the UK. There's just so much pressure. The arguments, what they're fighting about is returning to the UK. Harry feels like they would be better to be in the UK. Meghan is like, no, I can't live that way. I can't do that. And she doesn't want her children to be tormented. She is an upstanding woman. She has strong morals. She has strong values. She loves her husband. She loves her family. And the most important thing is that her children grow up secure, not having to fight, not wondering who they are. She had a problem with her identity growing up. She knew who she was, but she was teased, called half-breed, and things like that. It took a lot for her to stand in herself. But she doesn't want her children to have to fight that same battle. And she feels that if she went to England, that simply because her skin is dark. Even though the children you could pass, that the people would, that her children would see her being mocked every day and disdained and be made to feel bad because of the blood that runs through their veins. She is protective. Everything about Megan is about protecting her family, and she will die protecting them. So, Mama Tino, Megan and Harry are going through some interpersonal problems right now. Her strength and courage, number one, is what made Harry fall in love with her. But that's also what's going to save them. There's a lot of things that they are dealing with, and it's all familial and political. Harry's worried about money to pay for securities. Megan is not worried that way because she didn't grow up in a castle, okay? She grew up in a middle class house. She knows how to make a quarter out of 15 cents, okay? Harry is worried because he comes from ultra wealth. Megan didn't. She came from normal. So the fear there is more Harry's how he doesn't know how to live a normal life. Megan is teaching him as much as she can. And they're still, guys, they are still affluent, but they are not as affluent as they were when Harry was in England. And Harry worries about money more than Megan does. Much more than Megan does. Only because he's living a life that he is unaccustomed to. And Megan doesn't want to move to England because she doesn't want to live a life there that she cannot become accustomed to. Okay, Mama Tina, I hope that answered your question about Megan. And the last question for today's show is, will the UK call for a full election so that they can elect somebody decent for Prime Minister? The answer is yes. They are going to call for a full election, and they are going to want this election to transpire quickly. They are going to call for a full election instead of just putting this Tory and that Tory into power. Okay, I hope I've got that right. I hope it's the Tory party that's the Conservatives. I hope I'm not calling the wrong party by the wrong name. But I'll call them this, the Conservatives. The Conservatives are just picking one bad pick after another. That is just going to flush, just keep flushing. They are calling, there will be a call for a full election, a full election. The UK will call for a full election pretty quickly. They do not want to get out of this year with them just picking people from the Conservative Party to head the state. And it's also not fair either. So I hope the British people take this opportunity when it comes and votes the Conservatives out this time. If you don't, England is going to be looking worse than America is right now. And you guys, everything has to be shipped to you. Please stop electing people who are going to harm you. And then they'll get on a plane and fly to Switzerland. Okay? They'll leave you there to suffer. And they'll be on a plane living somewhere else. Okay. All right, guys. The weather is upon us. Oh my goodness. Break out your coats, break out your hoodies. We have turned the corner, guys. It is going to be cold. Cold. That is the word of the day. Cold. COLD. The Sesame Street word. Cold. And we're going to have wind as well. So please prepare. There are still some severe water issues happening in the Pacific Ocean. Again, I think that's going to be the one that's going to cross across and have some impact in the in Texas down there in the Panhandle. So again, this is another week to be prepared. And this one again, people who have little kids, grandkids going to school, please layer them up, guys. It's time to layer them. Don't let your kids go out of the house with short sleeves on. They will be sick. This is the time of year, and we will have another. This is flu season. Get your flu shot, get your kids flu shotted, and layer them so that they don't catch COVID again if they've already have it, or for the first time if they haven't had it. This is going to be a very trying time for people getting sick. All right, so get vaccinated, get your cars and everything winterized. Layer your kids, layer yourself for the day. I love you. I love you. Don't be scared. Be prepared. And guys, understand that how these energies are right now. This is kind of fighting. So don't go out there and get in no fights with nobody, because I mean the energies are there for even the calmest people to lose it. And this energy will last for about 3 days. So until we are through this eclipse, be aware that people might be wanting to throw hands. So I'm letting y'all know, be forewarned. And it could be you that want to throw hands. So everybody maintain their calm. Stay chill. I love you. I love you. I love you. Happy Monday, everybody. Again, don't be scared. Be prepared. If you have questions for Wednesday's early bird show, drop them in the comment section below this video. Okay? And I will answer it on Wednesday. And when you see this, I will have been live with Milu already. All right? I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. And guys, please, if you would like to show support for this channel, please hit the little $ show support down there with a super chat or a sticker. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Monday. Namaste. Bye-bye, guys.